All right, it is now recording.
Okay. Hi,
Hermina.
Hermina.
It's
How you doing?
Hermina.
Oh, Hermina. Gosh, stop it.
And I'm wearing lip
Getting
gloss today. Did you notice? Mwah.
for that kiss I gave you earlier.
And that's it, though. That's all I got is just lip gloss.
I got it all on, like double coat. It's
You're
all
all
right.
pixelated for me.
Am I? Oh, that happens to me all the time. Do you want to try to? Sometimes if we hang up and call back, that will cure it. Not always, but
No, we'll be fine. We went back. You keep going back and forth, so I don't think calling is gonna
okay.
change
Let
that.
me let me let me drain all my energy into the earth. Stop messing up my electronics, Juju. Okay.
Good. All right.
Okay. So what are we doing today? This is exciting.
Yes. And I'm not trans
Special.
channeling, so I'm able to dress cute. This is actually the outfit that Selena picked out for me.
Oh, really? When you went shopping? How cute.
Yes.
She did good. That's funny.
I'm gonna stand up, do a twirl. I won't. No one wants to see the rest of this body. It's a little. Anyway.
I do.
Well, we have the ambassador here. He's the ambassador for the Sarsahr. They're very creative with their names.
Well, it's appropriate. That's funny. That's because I was thinking that earlier. If you're the only one, then you don't need to get clever. If we can't speak their language, then that's just perfect,
I'm the ambassador. All right. What do? I'm the ambassador. All right.
I am Bass.
I am Bass. And then we have his daughter, which a lot of people, or some people know her, and she's the teacher. That's her name, the teacher. I don't know her real name because we can't even begin to pronounce it. We can't speak the language. We don't have the vocal cords equipped for it unless you can chirp like a bird, then...
Chirp and purr! Chirp, purr!
Then go ahead. But yeah, we have the ambassador, the teacher, and then we have a lot of women here, a lot of Sarsahr women. I told them that they can watch and listen in. Oh yeah, I had told the men to leave because I was getting dressed, but they can come back now. So that's why it's only women right now. Yeah, they can come back. But yeah, the ambassador has a message, and he said, I'll take only a few questions from people. And he was taking 3 or 4, but there's some people, their one question led up to 5 different questions.
I know.
And he says humans don't know how to listen. I'm like, I didn't tell them that it can only be 5 questions or whatever. I just said a few, Anyway.
Funny. Let me say a quick hello. Hi, Ambassador. How are you?
He finds this question odd.
I know, that's right.
He looks and says, I know how I'm doing. You don't need to ask. Or he knows how you're doing, too. He knows how you're feeling. And
all right.
But for us, we can't read people's emotions.
And we do just have niceties, just pleasantries for little greetings sometimes. So
but he says, I'm used to it by now. I'm well. How are you?
Very well, thank you. But you already knew that. Okay, well, Ambassador, I invite you to go ahead and tell us what you want to tell us. And we are very excited and appreciative that you're coming to talk to us today. So lay it on us.
Also, before we begin, I've had some people ask me, the way I channel is a little weird. I don't like making eye contact with people, so that means you too. I just stare at the floor, and if I say Hermina or my other name, I'm not talking in third person because I think I'm all that. It's just I'm directly saying what he's saying.
Okay.
Okay, so go ahead and spill it. What is it you wanted to say? He said, first off, thank you for allowing me the pleasure to be able to speak with your kind, those that are willing to listen. I have some worries about where we're headed towards the future. Not that it's currently happening. It's just something I want to address to make sure it doesn't happen. He said, one thing that has been brought to my attention is the way some people seem to worship us. and that is something I want to stop now. He said that if we were to make one mistake, it may push us off this pedestal he had put us on, and we would have to start at the very beginning. He said, my people are far from perfect. You may perceive us as perfect because there are things that we do that you wish your kind did, but that doesn't make your kind any less than ours, and that doesn't make us any better. He said, you must stop putting yourselves down. He said, putting yourself down because you're a human. He said, you're not a bad person. You're not less than us. You're not better than us. You're not a mistake just because you're human. So stop apologizing for being human. He said it greatly aggravates him when humans apologize for themselves, for being what they're born as. He said, that's your way of saying, I do not love myself. And he said that it's not that he's mad at you, he's upset that you don't love yourself. He said it's more of like how he says a papa, not a father. He says it's more of how a papa gets upset at his children for not loving themselves. He said, not that I see you as my children because I'm not, greater than you. But he says that he feels a sense of responsibility over how humans perceive themselves from here on out, because he said that his species are in allegiance with the other great people. He says, them as the Aiel, Palladian, and so forth. And we're in allegiance with them. We are all helping with this disclosure. So it's not just my species that is helping with this, it's everyone else as well. And it's not going to be a grand event that happens where they land their spacecrafts in a country somewhere and publicized event. He said there's so many times where we have done that. We have landed, we have shown our lights, and people still don't believe. So it wouldn't matter if we did it anyway. He said that it's going to happen slowly like this. It's already happening. Disclosure is already happening. But it's not going to be a big, he says, kapow. I'm thinking boom in my head, but he says kapow event. Weird choice of words. Not making fun of you. Just different. He said it's just going to be a slow trickle. He said because your species, as much as you want it, everyone else won't be able to handle something happening all at once. It has to be slowly for the safety of your people's mentality, like your mental state and psyche and emotional state. It would be too much all at once. And some of you think, well, who cares? We care. So we won't. We're not going to be selfish and just care for the small group that is ready. We see the whole picture. So he's saying that he's greatly honored and he's excited for what's to come, but he just wanted to address the issue of people putting them on a pedestal. He said to take us off of it immediately. He said his words sound harsh, but really you should see how he feels. He's just really compassionate, and his choice of words seems severe. That's just how he is. And he's saying that to take us off the pedestal, he said, you can love us as much as you want because we love you just as much, but do not worship us and do not think of us as better than your own species because we are not, because then you're just back to where we're started and we'll still feel separated.
Yeah.
He said, now I am open to your questions, your numerous questions, he said.
Let me toss in my 2 cents about what you just said. In that we are all here to learn from each other, and if one is so superior, then there's not learning from the other side. I don't know exactly what I'm trying to say, but I just feel like we just have things to learn from each other, so that kind of levels the playing field in a way. I don't know what I'm trying to get at.
No, he said perhaps I can word it better for you.
Thanks.
He says we are learning from each other. There are some things my species still needs. As we grow, as we continually grow, every species is continually growing and learning and evolving. And it says, as we evolve, we need the help of the humans because there are certain things you can only learn through humans that we need to gain.
Hmm. Okay.
And he's saying that the best thing that we're learning right now is open acceptance of everything, of every way of life. He said, as much as we like to think we are open to every walks of life, we are not. We do not like your animals. We have killed off our own on our planet. And I'm laughing because I have this side note like, oh, nothing. I'll get into that later. But he's saying,
Ah,
shit, I lost this train of thought. I'm sorry. What were you saying? Let it go. He's saying that we're learning how to love all walks of life, no matter how different. Just because they're not a certain level of intelligence does not mean that we should not treat them with the same respect or regard. He said we're also learning how to heal from our past that we still haven't let go of. He said we're learning how to forgive better. And with the help of humans, we're able to learn how to forgive better because humans, so many things happen to you, even from your loved ones, that we wouldn't even dream of doing to our own people. So when we're betrayed, we never forgive, ever. And he said we're learning to not be so severe. And we're learning also to be more open about our sexuality because we're very closed off towards it. So there's some things, some few things. He said there's many more, but those are a few of the major important things that they're learning from us.
Well, thank you. Thank you. It's nice to know in which ways we are valued. So that was nice. Okay, I'm going to jump into some questions, and you actually answered quite a few of them already. So
he said he did
forgive me
if
I repeat something.
He said
I bet. You smarty pants. Okay. So I'm just going to read verbatim. It's hard for me to tear it apart right now. Was our interaction, meaning I guess humans' interaction with you, Hermina, this creation of this group, and your involvement with the Sarsahr, something that was planned? And do you feel as the humans were ready for right now? And are you kind of testing the waters with this group?
He said that we've already been testing the waters with people. He said we've been testing the waters since the very beginning when we first made contact with the United States government. He's saying, so testing the waters isn't the correct term. He says we're pushing more outside boundaries to make it happen faster by having this. He said that group was always going to be there. He's saying the group didn't have to form. He said we would have made contact with people without this. It's called Facebook. This Facebook group. We still would have made contact. But it's just the group has allowed itself for people to communicate about their experiences, which was a good idea. He's saying, so no, not testing the waters. It's been happening.
Okay. Been pushing boundaries. I like that. And is there somebody in charge of the social media that reads everything, or do you guys just automatically know it telepathically? Nah.
No, he said not so much telepathically, unless it's someone who's sharing an event about something experienced with their Sarsahr. He's using our term. Some people call it my Sarsahr.
I know, it's cute.
Like it's their pet.
Their love.
And he finds that funny too. He's saying that unless it's that, usually our Sarsahr will also have shared the experience amongst their friends and family.
Okay.
He said, but if it's just somebody posting a funny video, we really enjoy the music and the funny videos people share. He said we would enjoy more people talking about their everyday lives.
Okay.
And he said, because we already know the experiences that you're having because we're there. He said you can share about experiences you've had with other extraterrestrial species because we're not there for those. He said some of them we might find scary because we too get scared, especially if they involve the Greys. But he said more posts about personal experiences in your everyday life that we're not a part of, that we'd like to hear about.
Yeah. All right. Well, since you used the word personal, I'm going to use it right on you. And what do you personally feel about the interactions that are going on between us, our respective peoples?
I love them. And it's happening in a way that I never thought it would happen. I didn't know that a human would be willing to channel us, or that they could. And thanks. And
what? Tell me. You got to tell me.
Well, some of them kind of clapped their hands at me. And thank you.
Superhero.
He said, we have tried to make contact with humans, but it has proved difficult because they need physical evidence of us being there. And not all the time were we able to do that for them. Mm-hmm. So when we had originally wanted to start having more and more contact with people, perhaps you can say the term testing the waters, it didn't work out so well. And it proved that because they only wanted physical contact, they weren't ready for full contact with us. You can only experience so much physically with us.
Yeah.
I even
That's
forgot
got to change one day, don't you think? Maybe in 50 years or whatever, we won't freak out. Will we acclimate, do you think?
He said, yes,
Ambassador?
you will acclimate. And
okay.
He's saying, personally for me, still, I love it. He says, I love the idea of us communicating on all fronts. When he says all fronts, he's meaning physical and emotional and spiritual and things like that.
Yeah. So come on out to the desert. Paint rocks with us.
Yes. He said that his people are especially excited, and they're having people fly in that from other planets and stuff, of their own species coming in. They're wanting to see what's happening, and because I guess it's a huge deal because Earth, they've been here for so long, and they've never made contact with humans on such a living among us and open and stuff. So for them, it's such a
like the first party that we're having. We're having a human party inviting the Sarsars. God, that's so cool.
They said it's an oddity for them to experience a species that their government goes against their people's backs. They said they never had that. It's nowhere else on any other planet. He said sometimes amongst the Greys, but he said that's a whole other story. But he's just going off topic now. But yeah, for them it's just strange.
Okay. There was a question. Let me see. Are you guys involved with other world governments? I guess they mean other planet governments. I would think so.
Said yes. He says yes. We live among the natives on other planets, and we're involved in their government as much as they want us to be involved. Most of it's just for trading purposes, and we don't get involved in anything political or help them unless they ask for our advice.
Okay. Let's see. You know what, Ambassador? I think you pretty much got through them all. There's so many little individual ones. I'm going to let you off the hook because I know you weren't interested in answering 10,000 questions. But I'm going to go ahead and give you the floor one last time if you have any other messages for us.
He's going like this. He's like, there was one question, and that someone had asked us if we knew about contact people may have with other species. Is there something to that effect?
Okay, yeah. Well, let's see. Can you tell us if one of us has had a Sarsahr or another species? It's a confusing question. If he knows what it means, then
no, he knows what the person means. He's saying that no, anything that is pertaining to another species, they will not have any information about. He said it's
okay.
How would we know? We weren't there.
Okay.
Yeah. He said just because he's saying just because I'm an alien doesn't mean I know all the other aliens and know what they're doing. Yeah.
We still get confused, Ambassador, I think, between spirit and alien. Some of us are still kind of new at this, and we just feel like you guys are, all knowing.
He says, no, as much as I like to think, we are not all-knowing.
All right, Ambassador.
He's also
Thank you.
saying being with humans is a very humbling experience.
How come?
He's saying being around humans have made us realize how much of an ego my people have. They have. We have. And how much we have been wrong in the past for some of our actions because of our pride. He said sometimes we have acted nasty. And he said, and we're still learning and growing. He said, so make sure your homework is to get us off the pedestal. So
Okay.
that's it. And that's all he has to say.
All right. You're knocked off.
Yes.
Just a regular old Sarsahr.
Yeah.
All right, then. I'm ready to talk to your kid then, I guess.
Yes, his only daughter. He's super proud of her. That's the feeling I get.
Of course.
Thank you. She's complimenting on my shirt. I know. It's awesome.
Help me choose it.
Yeah. Covers up the girls and everything. I love it. It's modest.
Hi, teacher. How you doing?
Hi. I love the way she waves. She does like this, like really girly kind of.
But she's not pulling a Sam, is she, and retracting those things?
Oh God, no! God damn it! Why are you talking? Okay, so I don't think I talked about this on one of the videos. So one time I forgot what was going on, but I was talking to you. I don't know. I was channeling, and it was just one of our casual conversations. And all of a sudden, I look over, and here's Sam, and he's retracting his fingers. Like they can retract and grow longer and grow shorter, and I just freaked the fuck out. And I was like, "What the fuck is that?" Oh
and then he
God.
kept doing it.
And he kept doing it. He would look
at
me and be like, "Look." I'm like, "No."
Oh, that's so funny. I got such a kick out of him teasing you like that.
Oh my God.
All right, teacher. I want to
He
know.
said only the men can do that. Retract the fingers. And does it?
Really?
Yeah. It's
What
something.
kind of tricks do we have? What's the girl trick that that beats that one? Girl power.
She said that the women grow longer fingernails and they're shorter. Not shorter. They're slender and they're very pointy. They're like claws. And she's saying that she's saying what the men like, the Sarsahr men. Oh God, I don't want to talk about it, but because it's
I
like,
want to know.
they like to tickle their backs and like their bodies with the nails. Like the men like that. Ugh, I don't want to talk about that. It's so gross. They're just talking about sexy things. I don't know why. I'm getting freaked out about it.
We call that soba in my house. Layla likes to do that. I'll get her an alien. She can do soba with an alien all the time.
Okay.
Okay, I am curious, Heather, Hermina, how old are you, teacher? Give me a human age.
She's a little over 200 years old. She's about 210.
Okay, no, I said a human age.
Oh.
What, like 40, 30?
Oh, she meant like, did you mean like Earth age? Like Earth years? Human. She'd say, I'm in my early, I wouldn't say your early 30s, homegirl. I'd be like mid to late 20s.
Oh, okay. I just, what, I always felt like her peer, so I was thinking she's like 40-something like me. She's just a baby.
She says, I am not a baby. I'm a mother. They're not making a baby.
A 200-year-old baby. All right, Miss Teacher. What do you teach?
She says, I teach children.
I love that. Was perfect. What kinds of things do you teach the children?
Sorry, they're so direct. They're so direct. She's saying, I teach them everything they need to know. The basics, mathematics, our mathematics, and reading, our language, and how to speak, and if they have verbal issues. She said that. So she said, well, English. She said, not your actual English, but, like an English class would be.
Okay. Right. Okay.
She said, but we don't write essays, and we don't read books. She said, our teaching is very different. It's more hands-on. She said, a lot of exploring, because we encourage our children to submit to their curiosity.
I love it.
And they said they don't use paper to write. They draw in the sand. So all the instructions are drawn in the sand. And they play lots of games, but she said the games are done so that they're learning while they're playing. So she said, so everything in school is a game and it's fun, because learning should be fun. And she said, we've learned that they retain better in their memory of what they have learned if it's from fun. Yeah.
I wish I could grab you and bring you to my child's individual education plan and put you on that meeting and tell those teachers how it's done. I think they know, but we're just not there yet. We haven't evolved to that place yet.
And I feel like also humans don't want to change. It's been this way for so long, and it's
there's still that mentality. It's good enough for me. I turned out just fine. Well, that's not true. You're not comparing it to anything.
You got some issues.
Right.
You got issues.
We need to get back to, child-centered learning, not just this big old group and shove them in that box. How many children do you have at a time? What's your classroom
She said, right
size?
now I have 5 children, and that's as much as we have on our base. She said most of them are, when they turn 12 years old, human year is 12.
Right.
They go and become an apprentice somewhere. And then she says and then the rest of them are too young to be in school. But she said right now the ones that are within the age range are 5. There's 5 of them.
Okay. And, I forgot what I was just going to ask. Okay, I lost that question. It'll come back to me. I do that sometimes. So, somebody wants to know about a retiring age. I feel like, you got like a couple centuries before you get there.
She said we don't force people to work at a job if they don't want to. She said, I can retire at any time and choose something else. Mm-hmm. She's saying, when it comes to not wanting to work, she said, I can't imagine myself not working. But she said, I could see maybe around 700 years old not wanting to work anymore, because they die at 800. So she's saying, I would see that being 700, I'd want to enjoy and relax.
Uh-huh.
And she said, not that I'm not relaxing now. But she was also talking about, we had a conversation before this, the ambassador is thinking about retiring soon. Mm-hmm. Because he's getting old and he wants to enjoy the rest of his time with him and his wife, and they want to go traveling. And I'm like, wow, traveling, in my head I'm like, oh, Prague and Jamaica, but they're like other planets and shit. Like, right. Who cares? Why go to another country on one planet when you could just go to a whole other planet?
I know. We'll have to hook up with their travel agent.
I know.
What kind of deals they can get for us. Okay, and I don't know where that question went. It's still not here. Was Charles Hall your first teacher's pet?
She's quiet. She's really quiet. Everyone got really quiet.
Oh.
She said, yes, he was, and he will always be the only one.
What did you learn from him?
She kind of she said how to love again, and then she left. She needs a moment. So.
Oh God, she's so. Last time we brought him up, she is so affected by him. Look, it's affecting me. I don't think these are my feels. I think these might be hers.
I was feeling them too, and it makes me tear up, and I don't cry easily, So I'm just like, oh. Oh. So she's back. She's ready. She said, I'm sorry. Okay. No, take your time. Take your time.
We don't mean to be disrespectful by asking questions that hurt your heart, so I apologize for that. And thank you for letting us ask you questions.
And she says, oh, don't worry about it.
Okay. Okay, now this question has a name attached to it. It's from Gail. Gail has a specific question for you, teacher. She wants to know, she has invited you to come and the children to come play with her antique toys, her vintage toys and dolls, and she's wondered if you have come yet.
She says not yet, and she has her hands like this, like yes, yes, like, and she said that others have volunteered and brought out gifts. She said that first, because it involves children, it has to be approved by her, and then approved by the captain, which it would have been Sam, but Sam's no longer the captain. And then it has to be approved by a higher up, one of the main leaders, which would be Sam. And yeah, he got a promotion. I'll talk about that later. And she said, and then it has to be approved by the parents of the children. So it's a lot of, she said,
a lot of permission slips getting signed around.
Yeah, she said it's a lot of red tape to go through. So don't feel discouraged if we don't come right away. It may be a year before we even show up, because for us, time is different. A year is really nothing to us, but to you, it's everything. She said,
that was a good reminder.
Yeah,
because
yeah. She said, be as patient as possible. She said, I know how humans are impatient.
Right now.
Yeah.
Right now.
Right now. It has to be the next full moon. Yeah, she says that right now it's too cold for them to go anywhere.
Yes.
Especially if you're in the US. Yeah, she said it's way too cold. Yeah.
Well, I remembered my question. I found it. And this is my question. Somebody had asked this, and they just weren't specific enough. They asked how many Sarsars there were. What I want to know is, if you're teaching only 5 children, how big is the population, sort of, like under this mountain? Are there 100 of you, or 30?
She said there's 2,000. But
okay.
She said it's a base. It's not really a home. So she said she lives there because her family's there and has always been there. Mm-hmm. And now she works there. She said the wives that are there are because their husbands work at that base. They're stationed there.
Right.
Mm-hmm. And she said that, and we also have low birth rates because it's hard for us to conceive and have children. So that's why it seems like there's only 5 children.
Right.
But she said there are children. There are other children if you want to count the teenagers, which we don't consider them children anymore once they're a teen. She said we find that they find it very greatly frustrating if we refer them as a child. So we treat them like an adult. She said, so we treat them like an adult because they want to be an adult. So let them be what they want to be.
Yeah, they're really on that cusp.
Yeah.
Sometimes my teen is a grown up. Sometimes he's a little baby. You just got to let him find his way on that certain day.
Yeah.
Okay. I've already got all the questions asked. There are only a few of them. Uh-oh. Okay.
So she's saying that she wants to respect Charles's privacy, and not talk about him too much in their relationship, because if he didn't divulge too much about it, other than her feelings towards him, she doesn't want to tell more, since it's obvious that he wasn't wanting to say more. She said that she fell in love with him, and that's all she's going to say. So, well, I just want to say it. I want to say it, but I'll respect it, and I'll keep my mouth shut. And she wants to talk about her life story a little bit.
Please do. I was going to ask my own personal questions. Go.
Okay. She's saying that when she was very young, she said a human age of 16, 17 years old, I was married. She said that you may see it as too young, but to us, age is of no reference. If you're ready to get married at 12, which has never happened, you're ready to get married at 12. I was 16, 17 when I was ready. And the man I married was... He was 400 years old. So if you think about it, yeah, that's still a huge difference. So He's about in maybe his 40s or something.
Okay.
She's saying, again, for us, that is not disgusting. It is not something to be seen as bad. Our souls.
Is it uncommon, or was it a little bit?
She said that she can't say it's uncommon because they don't keep track of those things because it's not a big deal.
It just doesn't even matter. Okay.
Yeah. She said our souls fell in love with each other. That's why. And they did the typical imprint of it and of their, what happens. And she's saying that he had to go off to war on another planet because they were helping this other planet against, I don't know what it was against. It was against another extraterrestrial species that came in and was trying to gain control over the people, the natives. And so they came in to help them and the entire allegiance they have that they're a part of. And while she was currently pregnant with her child, he died while at war. And for them, for the Sarsahr, when their significant other dies, they soon follow. And if you want to know more detail about it, you can read the document I typed up. It took me forever to do, but no one reads it, and everyone just keeps asking questions.
Keep asking you.
And I'm like, can you just read it? Can you just read it, please? Anyway, so if you have to join the Facebook group though, because I won't share that outside the group. And she's saying that she could have died, and she almost did, but knowing that she was going to have a child is what kept her here. She said, it's not that you always die after your partner does. It's very rare if you don't. She said, but it does happen. And she said that I was one of the rare occasions where I didn't die following my partner. She said, my daughter was what kept me alive, knowing that I would have her. I stayed alive for her. Or if I wasn't pregnant, I would have died. I know it. And she said that it was just her and her daughter for the longest time until Charles came. And she fell in love again. But she doesn't have a husband. She said she still isn't, she never got remarried. And she said she has no interest in it. Yeah.
And is that because your heart got so broken and you just don't want to do that again?
She said, yeah, she just doesn't want to do it again. She said she can't take it.
Yeah, I bet. It made me get feely again. Sorry.
She's really sensitive. She is.
So, teacher, Heather's been writing Sam's story a little bit, and the story is so great. And I'm offering Heather up to write yours too right now.
Maybe, yeah, if we're done with Sam's. Yeah. It's so cool. It's a sad story, but it's cute. Her daughter's now, she's about 5 or 6 years old now, and she's cute. She's so cute.
Is she? Tell me a little bit about your girl. Tell me a little quirky thing about her.
She said the teacher is saying she's always loved humans. She's always been very compassionate about them. And she said that her behavior was seen as odd because she was very compassionate about humans. And she's saying she raised her daughter to not be fearful of them. And the daughter had a friend who was a human.
Oh, really? Oh.
Because at the time, her daughter was the only girl, at her age. The rest of them were all, either infants or just not there. And, or just way too old,
Right.
So the daughter had a human friend around her age, I think, or the girl was older. And they would sneak, and I know this is in the Charles's book where he talks about them, but they would sneak into the house and make the mom go to sleep or be in a trance as she's doing the dishes or something.
Right.
And they would take the daughter and they would go play, and then they come back after a couple hours.
Wow, that's so interesting.
And she said that her daughter doesn't fear humans, and she said she's actually looking for another human companion herself, like a friend. She said because she loves them so much. And And she has a doll. She's carrying around a doll that she has with her. That the teacher, she said, I was able to get a doll. I guess, I don't know if they're not allowed to get dolls or something, but
I know. No, everybody's going to be putting dolls out. Take the doll.
Take the doll. Take the doll.
Take all these toys.
It's so cute.
Sorry.
Huh?
I was just going to tell her that your little girl is going to change the world one day, just because, she doesn't have this fear, and you're raising her to come from a place of love, and she's going to continue what we've started, I bet.
Yeah, she's so cute. She's wearing a little dress. The teacher said she made it herself, and she saw it in a magazine, but the U.S. Generals wouldn't order it for her because it wasn't part of the standard whatever. She said it's the things they buy us are so boring, and so she took the idea and made it herself out of the fabric.
That's awesome.
It's cute. It's a cute little thing. Yeah, she's so proud of her daughter. She just keeps holding on to her kid. So if there's any questions you have for her.
Heather, Hermina, can you tell me, how tall is the little girl? When you're like 5 years old, how tall are you?
She's 4'7".
Almost as tall as I am.
Wait,
funny.
Almost tall as you?
I'm like 5'2".
Oh.
So she's close. That's funny.
Yeah, she is pretty tall. Yeah.
Well, they're tall.
They're tall. And the teacher's like 6 foot. I think she just barely makes it to 6 feet, maybe a little over 6 feet.
So she can still go out. Do you go out, teacher? Do you go hang out in the...
She said that that's one of her favorite things to do, is to go out. And she said...
What do you do?
She said the gambling, not so much. It's more of a means to an end to make the money that she needs. She said it's so easy to win your games. You make it too easy.
Let us in on the secret.
She said that sometimes she'll play with the machines, and she's showing me this image of her playing with the machines, and she's not winning. And so she just kind of takes out her device and kind of like puts it up against the machine and manipulates it, so like it gives her a bunch of money. And she like gets this image of her looking both ways as she's doing it. God.
That's so funny.
And then she looks at it, she's like, oh! Like she's trying to...
What? How'd that happen? That's great. That is so awesome. I would love to see that. I'm going to be in Vegas and see a really tall person and winning money. I'm going to... I don't know who that is.
She said that she likes the blinking lights on the machines. That's the only reason why she'll go to machines. But she said that they mostly do the card table games because they have their own private section now where they go. They don't go out in the public area. They have their own card dealers that are CIA agents. And they'll have their own card dealers. Yeah, they don't even like go out with us really anymore. They just kind of do it themselves. Yeah, that's boring. Like, that's no fun. You gotta add a little risk in there. Sit next to a stranger. Oh my god. That's my own social anxiety is coming up. I'm like,
I know. What are you talking about? Heather can't even stand next to a stranger. Quit your preaching.
Yeah, I know. I'm over here. I'm no better. Yeah, for people that don't know, I have like a slight agoraphobia. I hardly go outside. It's really bad.
Yeah.
Anyway, but she's saying that she enjoys shopping the most. She said that's when I'm around strangers, and she's looking at me like, woo. And she says there's one specific shop she enjoys. She doesn't know what it's called. But they'll have really slim, long dresses on the mannequins. And I see what it looks like, but I don't know.
I've never, ever, ever been in that store, I promise.
Yeah. She said the dresses.
Mannequin.
I think it's BB. BB?
Oh, really? Uh-huh.
The shiny dresses. And I'm like, I'm saying in my head, those are club dresses that she's talking about. But she likes long dresses. She doesn't like to show off her legs. She likes, long flowy stuff. formal wear. But yeah, BB.
How does she wear her hair? What's her hair look like?
So it's about as long as mine is. It goes to shoulder. It's really thin, a little past the shoulder actually. Very straight, and oh, she has bangs up here, and she's like shaking them. She said the bangs are new. I guess they cut their hair.
You wear them well.
Just thank you. And she has a bit of a rounder, like a round face, so it makes the bangs look nice. She still has kind of like a pointed chin a little bit, but her face is a little round up here. And she's wearing blush today because her cheeks are very pink. And she said a little bit of mascara too, but not too much. She put on makeup for us today. I'm just realizing this. But she has really big blue eyes. All of them pretty much have big blue eyes. And you want to see my teeth? She's asking. No, we're okay. But the way the women, they're built like us, like how their body is, the typical place where your hips would be and things like that.
Right.
She's got, I would say, I'm describing her boob size now.
Yeah, okay. Well, how's her rack?
Like an A cup or a small B size.
Okay. Okay, a little helpful.
Yeah, little. I mean, they don't really have big boobs. Their women don't. So she said, my size is considered very fair, among those people.
That's just cute.
And she's showing me her butt now, like not naked, but like moving to the side. So we're really gonna check you out, girl. And she has a little.
Baby got back.
Just a little pump, just a little bit, but not like a lot because they're so thin. But for her, to her people, she's considered having a nice ass. So good for you. Congratulations. But for us, it would like it'd be nothing. It'd be like, oh, she has no ass. But for like the Sarsahr, it's like she has an ass. Yeah. So I wonder what it looks like for us. Like, well, I have really wide hips. I have a big ass.
Cartoon characters to them, huh?
She said some women are very beautiful. She said others are just too voluptuous for her, she's saying. She said it's so dramatic, the way your curves are. She said that she often worries about how you walk around. She said, how can you walk around with all of that?
It's a challenge, let me tell you.
She said, but I do see how it would make it easier to carry children. Having more body fat and wider hips, and she said a bigger bum bum, a bigger bum bum.
More junk in the trunk.
She said carry more weight, carry bigger children, I suppose. She's just trying to figure out our physics now, like why are we so big?
Yeah, I'd like to know that. When you figure it out, you let me know. We'll solve that problem together. So, teacher, are you going to come out to the desert? Are you going to come dance with us in the firelight?
So first off, she said, yes, of course, I'm already out there.
Right. She's like, you're coming to my hood.
Yes, she said she is, and that she said she's going to bring participating children. So the ones that get the okay.
They get the permission slips. Okay, good.
Permission slip signed. That's so cute. But they're going to stay at a distance, especially because it involves children that won't be coming up.
Right.
She said, unless everyone's asleep. Damn it. Okay. So I have to be asleep then.
Oh.
Yeah.
Sleep with one eye open.
They said, no, we'll know if you're awake or not.
You do know. All right. Well, teacher, do you want to say anything? I love that. I mean, she was like so personal and, gave us like girl talk. That was so cool. Do you have anything else to share?
She says, nope, nothing. Nope. She said everything she wanted. She said she thought people would ask more questions. But I'm like, I'm saying, okay, I made the post today to ask questions, so they only had like a few hours, so don't just be mad at me. Don't be mad at them.
Well, you know what too is that I don't. They must know, but we're like in our holiday season, so we got to like connect when we can because things get nuts in December.
Yeah, they do.
So this is a last minute decision to make this.
Yeah, I have a headache.
Well, do you have enough?
It's not from channeling. I've had this headache the entire time we're doing this thing.
I'll send you some sparkles when we're done. But Heather, I want to invite you to tell us about Sam and his promotion.
Oh yeah. So everyone, all the Sarsahr are excited. Thank you, teacher. She kind of bowed to me. So, and she's saying thank you too to both of us.
Thank you.
Yeah. And so Sam, I don't know how this happened, but I just had this dream where I was at this, I don't know, this pink and white palace kind of place, but it didn't look like a normal palace, like how you would think it would look like. It just looked like...
Is this the place with the pink marble floor or a different place? Or is that a ship with pink marble floor?
I think it was a ship with pink marble floor and walls too, and there was some white.
So this is the same place though?
Yeah, I'm thinking it's the same place.
Okay.
I don't know. But I was sitting at this balcony looking over at this, where they were setting up a ceremony, and I had no idea what was going on. And at first I thought I was just having a regular dream, but then I realized energy doesn't lie. So in my dreams I could just feel nobody was human that was around me. Wow. But they were trying to project themselves as human so I wouldn't freak out. And it was Sam's sister Ellie that was sitting next to me, and she was just telling me about the ceremony. I was like, yeah, you're here for a ceremony. And she was holding her newborn baby. And and then I went into this back room where all these other ladies were, and they were saying, yeah, it's a ceremony in your honor. And I'm like, what? And
what?
But it was really for Sam's honor, but I was just the wife, so
you're just the wife.
I'm just the wife.
Keep going.
And they said it's time for you to pick out your diadem, which I thought was weird because usually people say tiara or crown, and I was just thinking Harry Potter and the lost diadem, and I was just wanting to present. My mind was stuck on that the whole time, so I was trying to find one that looked like the one from Harry Potter, and they didn't have one. But I picked one that kind of looked like whimsical looking. There was vines in it, like it looked like, I don't know, these vines and leaves on it, and like a big giant crystal in the middle. And I picked that one, and one of the ladies put it on my head, and it felt like it was a great honor for her to do that. Oh. And I was like, all right, cool. Like for me, I didn't fucking know what was going on.
Thanks for the hat.
Yeah, thanks. Great. And then they asked, are you ready? And I was like, I gotta pee. And of course I gotta pee. So, Sam's sister Ellie took me to the bathroom, and then afterward I went walking down the aisle with her, and it looked like I was at a wedding, and there was like literally hundreds of Sarsahr all sitting.
That's so crazy.
Hundreds of them all sitting, and there was this guy at this altar, and it's not like a religious altar. It was just the guy who was gonna whatever. He was gonna give Sam the promotion and like make it official. He was like the officiate for the promotion, and I don't know precisely what Sam's position is now, but the whole ceremony was to whoa, are you still there?
Yeah, you keep going in and out on me, so I'm like, sorry. Please keep rolling. Keep going. Yeah. It's good.
So the whole ceremony was about his promotion to this leader position, and the ceremony was to celebrate his social status getting higher, because they, greatly respect social status thing in the hierarchy. Though they don't have money, they still have a social hierarchy, but it's just different. And he was getting bumped up to the highest level that you can go, I guess, and pretty much almost like royalty status for them. And afterward, everyone bowed to us, and Sam kissed me. In which to them that's a huge deal, physical contact, and then showing PDA and PDA and all that. And everyone was like, oh, at first, but then everyone like corrected themselves, like, oh no, this is okay, because he's a leader now, so whatever he does, it's okay.
Right.
So
he can't fuck up anymore.
No,
It's great.
and I remember Sam saying every good thing that has happened in my life has been because of you. And I'm like, oh, I know, I'm amazing. But like during the middle during the middle of the ceremony, I had to pee. And I was just thinking in my head, I have to pee, I have to pee. And yeah, his new leadership role, he now lives on a spaceship. He doesn't really he said he comes frequently to the desert though, because he loves it. He may move permanently to the desert area and not be on the ship. But right now he's on the mothership, which they have this huge mothership that hovers above Earth. He said it's not just their ship; they also share it with other of their allegiance, is what they call it.
Do you think that's the one in Nevada in the big cloud? Do you think
Yeah.
that's what he's talking about? Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Cool.
So there's other species on there that they're in allegiance with. He's saying it's just easier for him to be on the ship because of his job now. He's one of the main leaders. He said, which is a great honor. So now Sam's here, and he's saying it's just a great honor. And he's like considered just like royalty, I guess. I don't know, but now I'm having much more physical contact because they're taking me now and having me overlook every program that's happening on Earth. So like, human and ET contacts. So with the Sarsahr, they're having me look over every program. And because they're starting...
What do you mean program? Do you know?
They have like all these mini projects to help integrate Sarsahr and humanity together. One of them's, the hybrid thing, and the other one is the new one, which someone made a post about, talking about the animal projects, so that Sarsahr can learn to better understand our relationship with animals, and, so because when they learn to live among us on Earth, they're not just living among humans, they're living among our animals, and they need to learn how to better interact with that. So that's another one, and then there's just a bunch of these different programs and projects.
Gosh, I'm so clueless about all this stuff. I'm glad it's happening. I have my blinders on to my own thing.
I don't even know what half the programs are. I can't remember. All I know is that this is what's happening, and I just remember the gist of it, like, whatever.
It's so interesting. You're like the shit. I know who you are. You're just Heather. You're just Heather that wants to eat pizza and cheeseburgers.
And I have to pee all the time.
But you're all that and more.
I guess. I don't know. And I'm thinking, it's just my ego that thinks I'm all this shit. But I really don't care. I don't care that I oversee these projects. I'm just like, yeah, sure. Let's do it. All right.
Amazing.
Pretty relaxed about it.
Sam's here. Sammy, are you here?
Mm-hmm.
Well, I wanted to congratulate you and everybody. I know you probably read over Heather's shoulder or Hermina's shoulder about all of the congratulations you got from everybody in that Stardust group. You're a rock star, and we're stoked for you.
He says, yes, thank you. He has his hand on my shoulder right now. Standing all proud. And he wears mostly robes now. Like they're fancy little robes. He's not in his sexy spacesuit anymore, so whatever. Oh, thanks. He said, oh, no, I'm going to say it. He told me not to say it. He's saying, we can do role play.
I was going to say the same thing. I said, you guys can role play later. That's right.
Now he's embarrassed, and he's walking off. He's saying, I'm not going to say anymore.
Okay. See you later, Sam. That's funny. All right, Heather, we're going on like an hour. Shall we wrap this up?
Yes, I'm tired.
I know, you got your brain ache. Okay, I'm going to send you sparkles. I'm going to wrap this up. Check out our group, Stardust, on Facebook, and clearly you're watching the video on the Stardust channel. So thanks, guys. And Heather, I'll talk to you soon. I love you.
Love you too.
Bye.
Bye.